Then the next model is Clark-Wilson model. Okay, so it is also about protecting the integrity of the information, just like Bieber model. So how does it protect the integrity of the information? So these are some of the terms that you should be aware of when it comes to Clark-Wilson model: users, transformation procedures or TPs, constrained data items, unconstrained data items, UDIs, and then integrity verification procedures, IVPs. So let me explain to you what these terms mean, because that is how you will be able to understand uh, how Clark-Wilson model works. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board here. Okay, now we are talking about Clark-Wilson model. Now let's say there is a banking application. Okay, I'm just making it up. So let's say there is a banking application, and in that banking application, when you log in, you have your profile where you have your username saved, and then you have your password, and then you have your email, you have your phone number, and then you have other options as well, like you can maybe transfer the money, you can you can transfer money, you can edit your social security number, and you have various other options on the banking portal. Okay, now you as a user have the rights, have the authority to make certain changes to your profile, right? But you cannot make changes to everything in your profile, because there are some elements in your profile which are more sensitive than some other elements. So for example, again, I'm just making it and making it up. So let's say there is this email here, which is which can be edited by the user of this portal, by the user who is logged into their banking portal. So that user just logs into the portal, and if required, they can update their email address directly, because email is not considered to be a very sensitive part which needs any kind of intervention. So if the user has already authenticated, that means the user is given the right to change or update their email address. So in this case, email field is like UDI, unconstrained data interface. It's an unconstrained data item, not interface. Okay, that means the user can interact directly with the UDI. But there may be some other fields which are more sensitive, and the user would not be allowed to edit those fields or make changes to those fields directly. For example, let's say social security number, or maybe transferring some amount from one account to another account. Okay, so let's say these two items here, transfer option and social security number, updating the social security number, this could come under CDI, which is constrained data item, which means that a user will not be allowed to interact with these two operations, transfer and updating of SSL of SSN, social security number, directly. Which means that whenever user tries to interact with these two options, there must be some mediation in between. There must be something in between which ensures that the transactions are happening in a secure manner, in the right possible manner. Okay, so that is TP, transformation procedures. So user will interact with transformation procedures, and transformation procedures will be interacting with these CDIs, transfer option and social security number. All right, so these TPs make sure that all of the transactions that happen between user and CDIs, they happen in the right manner. Maybe it can invoke some additional authentication options. For example, if the user is trying to update the social security number, then the transformation procedure may prompt the user for MFA, for multi-factor authentication, to make sure that it is indeed the right user who is making all of these modifications, right? So that is the goal of these terms like UDI and CDI. User can interact directly with UDIs, but user cannot interact directly with CDIs, and that communication with the CDI must go through transformation procedures. Okay. Now the last term that is left is IVPs, which is integrity verification procedures. So integrity verification procedures make sure that whatever is happening to CDIs, which in our case is these transfer option and the social security number option, integrity verification procedures make sure that the integrity of the CDIs is always maintained. Okay, that this information is always correct. So for example, if some user tries to update the social security number and enters some random number, for example, okay, that TP will not be able to may not be able to detect that the social security number is a correct number or not. So in that case, IVP will kick in, and it is the job of IVP, integrity verification procedure, to make sure that the social security number is in the right format, that it is indeed the right number to be added here. Similarly, if the user, let's say, transfers $5,000 from his own account to some other account, then his own account's balance should reduce by $5,000, right? So that is the goal of integrity verification procedure, to make sure that the content which is there in the CDIs, constrained data items, it is always correct. It is the integrity of the CDIs is always maintained. That is the goal of IVPs. Okay, so let's go back to the mind map here. So users are active agents. As I said earlier, transformation procedures are programmed operations such as read, write, modify. CDIs can be manipulated only by TPs, as I said earlier, and whereas UDIs, unconstrained data items, can be manipulated by users directly. And IVPs check the consistency of CDIs, and it makes sure that their integrity is always maintained. Okay.